Hi, I'm Tom Miggett from Tom Miggett Photography. This is our fourth and final episode of a series on the new features that come in the brand new Adobe Lightroom 5 that was released about 2 weeks ago. Today I want to talk to you about a feature that's always been there in Lightroom but has been dramatically enhanced in Lightroom 5, and that's the lens correction. You know that I have a passion for travel, and when I travel I take pictures of signs and buildings, and one thing that we might not be fully aware when at the moment when we take the picture is the impact of the perspective on the result. Indeed, as you can see, this sign is not very leveled, and that's because I could not be exactly parallel and at the same level as this sign when I took it. So the good news is that in Lightroom you could always play with the lens correction panel, which is within the develop module. And so if I go down, you're going to see it, the lens correction here, and you could play with the verticals and horizontal lines and try to change the angle better. Well, in Lightroom 5 that's been dramatically improved and simplified. So the very first thing that you want to do when you go in lens correction is really enable the profile correction. And what it does is Lightroom has a library of lenses, and you know every lens comes with its own defect, and so there's a library that will counterattack, if you want, or correct those defects. So by enabling the profile, then you tell Lightroom, okay, please recognize the lens that I've been using, and remember that information is actually stored in the metadata. You have it here in the library module, and you will have it somewhere around here. So let me find this. You see, it says that this is the camera and the lens as well. Focal length was 31, etc. So you've got all the details here. So Adobe will use that to find the proper profile to correct the image. Then you want to remove the chromatic aberration. Chromatic aberrations are thin lines of colors that you can find sometimes depending on the light position and your angle and so on. So once you apply those two, then you see at the bottom you have a few buttons, and let's go through them very quickly. The level one, as it says, it will try to level your image on the horizontal level. So if I click on level, you see it kind of bring it down a little bit, rotate it slightly so it's actually leveled. Then the vertical one, note that when I'm going to click on it, the first change with the level will disappear, so it's the same as going to off first. Then if you click on vertical, it will try to make that image more vertical, but as you can see what it did, it basically kind of squeezed a little bit at the bottom to adapt the perspective to give a feeling that all those letters are pretty straight. And then we have the auto and full. So the difference is that the full will take the changes that you would have if you click on level, plus the changes you would get by clicking on vertical, and this is what you get. Pretty impressive, right? What do you think? I like it quite a lot. It's almost like if I actually took the picture standing right parallel to that wall. So really interesting. And the auto. So the auto, basically what it does, it will take an average of, it will take in consideration the whole image. And sometimes by doing full, as we will see in a few seconds, sometimes you will distort the image quite a lot. So you will actually have some part of the image that will be totally white or transparent because you don't have any information. The image has been squeezed down on the side or whatever. The auto will not do that as much. And it will try to do a balance between the horizontal line, the vertical line. So if we click on auto, you see it's very subtle, so it's up to you to choose which one suits you best. So I have some examples of other pictures with building. So like this one, for example, this was taken in Milan. It's a very famous place in Milan. So if you enable the profile correction, the chromatic, and then you start playing with the auto, here we go. It's not bad at all. Let's try the full. You see it kind of bring the top a little bit closer to us and made it a bit straighter. So that's interesting too. I'm just going very quickly on other example for you guys. Here, that's an image taken in Riga, in Latvia, not far from Lithuania. And so if we click on auto, let's see what we get. So you see, you start having what I was mentioning before. It's been squeezed at the bottom, try to get an equal balance between the level and the verticals. If we were going just to the level, you see what you get. So let me off. You see, now you just put it straight. So especially if you look at that line, now this line is horizontal. Then you bring the vertical down, so the wall is being straightened up. And so if you go on full, this is what you get. This is what the auto gets. So once again, it's really up to you to decide which one suits you best. There's no real rule of thumb on this one. For that image is actually pretty interesting. So you have those two enabled, but look at if I actually click on full. That's pretty remarkable. It really changes the whole aspect. There's no way I took that picture from that angle, but you almost see the whole street like this. So pretty interesting. Another example as well is this one. If I start clicking on full as well, you see that changed it all. I don't like it. It's squished too much. It compressed the building. But you have the auto here. That is not that bad comparing to the off. So you see what it did is on the side, this building is no longer bending or leaning towards the left side. If I click on the auto, it's a little more straighter. Interestingly, if I go on the full again, so we saw here it's squished. One thing is you can still go on manual. So when you click on manual after applying your basic changes, bear in mind, if you do manual first, manual changes here, and then you go to the basic will override. But if you do the basic first and then you go to the manual will stay. So if you use the aspect cursor here, you see you can actually change slightly the result. So depending on how you want it to be. So that's it, and a couple of other images as well. This was a door, so same thing. If we go on full, here you go, you got a nice view, and then you can always play with either the spot removal or go in Photoshop to put some information here in the white corner. So I think that's a really cool, quick feature to use to get the image in a better angle than what you obtain. This is an image obviously that I've retouched that was shot in New York in 2012. 2012. And besides changing the saturation, that's all I've done, and maybe retouching a little bit near the front of the car. But as you can see, the building is really leaning back because of that perspective. So if I enable those two, and I'll try to play with the level. So let's try the level first. Now the building is a little straighter for sure, but it kind of go very high as well. So if I go on the vertical, now it's clearly more flat. I've got a better perspective. It looks much better, and then I can always use a crop to retouch and to cut some corners. If I go on the full one, here's what you get, and I really like this this result here. You can also try with the auto. The auto, as you can see, you still have a little bit of an angle. You're not straight in front of the building. I think I quite like this result here comparing to the auto. It's very similar, and then you can, so that's actually it for this lens correction. And then you can actually go to the crop tool. So if you go to the crop tool, one thing that I wanted to show you is, you might not be aware of it, is the overlay in Lightroom. And the overlay is, you have two types of overlays, actually 3 times when you're in the crop tool, but basically 2 times. You have this, which are guides, so as you see that, the vertical and the horizontal line, and then you have a grid in the background. To enable that, you can just simply go to loop overlay and disable the guide if you don't want it, and you can even disable the grid if you don't want it. The thing I wanted to show you is actually something very interesting. When you're in the crop tool, so I'm just going back to the crop tool, if you actually have the tool overlay, usually it's set up to auto, but if you have it to always, you can see here at the top what you have is actually the ratio for your crop. So when you do this here, it shows you, gives you some guides as to how the crop would look if you wanted to have a 4:5 a 4:3, 2:3, 5:7, and you can change that ratio by going to the tool. And bear in mind, you need to be inside the crop tool in order to have access to it. So you go to Tool, Crop Guide Overlay, and then you can change the aspect ratio. And here you have the list of all the aspect ratio you can choose. So I'd say we would like to have the 16:9, for example, and the 2:3, and you have them here. So that's pretty interesting. That's a nice gem. And a couple of more things as well to say about Lightroom 5, as this is the last video. Slideshows. It's not something that I've used a lot, but there is a neat improvement in Slideshow Lightroom 5. Is that now you can use videos inside your slideshow alongside your still images. So as you can see, I have this image, then I go next, and then this is actually a movie. So if I actually play it, so it will prepare a preview for us. This was actually shot on the Angel's Landing Trail in Utah. And you say, here you go, you got a movie. So if we go back a slide before and we go the next one, we see that the movie is actually playing as part of our slideshow, and then we go to the next slide and we see an image, and we go to the next one, and so on. So this is a new addition to the slideshow in Lightroom 5. And finally, the last feature as well that comes in Lightroom 5 is Inside Book. So for those of you who use Book, I don't personally use Book because I rather use the software that comes with the printing company that I rely on. But basically, you could create pages, and you can now create custom pages. So in order to create a custom page, once you modified I don't know, something like this, for example, you can save as custom page, and then every new page that you have, you can say, okay, well, this will be a custom page, I want it to be that way, and it will work the same way as you saved it before. So this is what comes with Book. So this is it, folks. This is all I wanted to share with you about Lightroom 5. So is it worth it upgrading from Lightroom 3 or Lightroom 4 to Lightroom 5? Well, I'm not going to make that choice for you, but I hope you saw with those 4 videos that there are a lot of new features in Lightroom 5. They're not for everyone. The Smart Preview, I don't think it's something that I currently need. But I do know people who actually edit on the fly and would definitely appreciate this great tool. To me, I would say somebody who does not own Photoshop and the nuancement that come in the spot removal tool, as we saw, would definitely justify an upgrade to Lightroom 5. I think it's a powerful tool now, really much better than it used to be, and I would definitely get Lightroom 5 just for that tool, but that's my own opinion. The rest of the other features as well are really, really good, especially the last one we saw today about the perspective and the lens correction. I think it's very powerful and very simplified to use. The upgrade to Lightroom 5 cost in UK £57 something. And bear in mind, you do not need to subscribe to the new Adobe Creative Cloud in order to acquire Lightroom. This is still one of the solutions that is sold as a standalone. So I hope you found that informative. I can't wait to read your comments. And let me know if you decide to upgrade or not to Lightroom 5. And until then, this is Tommy God saying, if you like it, well, capture it, maybe edit it in Lightroom, and maybe in Lightroom 5. Ciao.